We have 325 days to go, 272 days. We have 263 days. We have 240 days to go. We have 198. We have 154 days. We have 97 days to go. We have 89 days to go. We have 86 days to go until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57.
And now it is time for the only channel dedicated to counting down the days until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57.
I just don't know if they're going to make it. I'm done.
What is up, Bills Mafia? We have 70 days to go until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57. This channel is going to document every single day leading up to that amazing moment with the video or live stream like I'm doing now. It's a good day to be a Buffalo Bill fan. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. Where are we? Where are we in the AFC? Anybody have an answer for me? Go ahead and tell me in the chat below. Where art thou Buffalo Bills play team when it comes to the playoffs? Before I get to anything else, I just want to say I am just the worst, absolutely worst at betting on games. I'm doing like the in-game betting for the Dallas Cowboys Indianapolis Colts game. I don't bet a lot. I just like to throw a couple dollars here and there. I bet on every in-game drive that there was going to be a turnover. Dallas's first drive, the Colts' first drive. Dallas's second drive, the Colts' second drive, the third, the fourth. While getting ready for this stream, I didn't put one in for the Cowboys' fifth drive. Look up, turnover. I didn't get any. I didn't get nothing. And then the one drive I don't bet on, the Cowboys turn the ball over. And this is not something that is, uncommon. This happens to me all the time. One time I put a bet in, and I'm like, all right, I got it. Because I bet a touchdown, in-game touchdown. It was a Steelers game. The Steelers scored a touchdown. I was like, yeah, I got it, finally. And I look at my app, and it said, action required. It didn't go through. Anyway, I think it's the Lord's way of telling me, listen, dude, don't be betting on games. And that's all right. It's a lesson learned. We're not here to talk about my betting, though. I know. I'm sorry. We're here to talk about the Buffalo Bills. And week 13 in the NFL, how sweet it is. This was probably, I'm not sure there was not one game that didn't go in Buffalo's favor. I think every single game that Buffalo needed one particular outcome or another, went in our favor. Absolutely spectacular. Good times. Let the good times roll. Here to talk about it for a little bit as I watch the Colts kick a field goal. I did not pick the Colts to kick a field goal. I picked the Colts to do it, turn the ball over. Anyway, good thing I only bet like $2 at a time. We're here to talk about the Bills and what has happened over the last 16 hours. I mean, let's go, Buffalo. This channel is all about documenting every single day leading up to the moment when the Bills win the Super Bowl, and this is the type of weekend we needed to feel confident. I'm full of confidence. I'm so full of confidence that I'm crapping confidence twice a day. I'm so full of I have confidence to spread around. Would you like some of my confidence? I've got it. But for those of you who aren't so confident, this particular weekend was just what you needed. Let's get going. Let's start talking about it right now. First and foremost, not sure if you saw it or not. If you didn't, it's too bad because it was a great game. The Jets lose to the Vikings, and it looked like the Jets were going to get blown out, and then they started turning things around in the second half, and it started to look like the Jets were going to maybe pull it out. They had plenty of opportunities to win this game. They kicked too many field goals, and they got stopped at the goal line. The game comes down to the end, and they could have won it. And Mike White is intercepted at the goal line, much like the Bills were intercepted at the goal line in overtime against the Vikings. So that was one game in our favor. Not that we necessarily needed the Jets to lose, because we're ahead of them in the standings, and we play them at home here coming up next week. So that wasn't a game that we necessarily were stressing about, that's for sure. But it was obviously nice to get that win, that loss for the Jets. And let me do a little maintenance here. I got to pop something in to my control panel here. I want to be able to share what you guys are saying. But yeah, I mean, absolutely nice to have that loss by the Jets. I mean, it just puts more space in between us, and it was a good way to start the day, the Jets losing that game. And then beyond that, we go to the Dolphins game. Let's talk about the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins are showing to be for real. At least, good enough to get to the playoffs. And they were kind of back and forth with the 49ers. And then Jimmy G goes out. Dude is lost for the season. Broke his foot. And a backup comes in, and it's like, oh, man, the Dolphins are going to, win this game and hold on to the lead in the AFC East. Yeah. No. No, baby. The 49ers take care of business, beat the Dolphins, and now we are ahead of the Dolphins in the standings, and we got the Dolphins here at home coming up in 2 weeks. I mean, it is just going to be a mashing of epic proportions. Tua did not look too good. I think he threw 3 interceptions, and the parade of MVP chance that he was getting, I think, is going to start to tail off now after that performance. If you saw the game, it wasn't too great. He was 18 of 33, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And he fumbled the ball. So bad performance by Tua on the road. He's still better than I thought. Tua is still a better quarterback than I thought. So, but that was a gigantic win. So the Bills go into first place in the AFC East by virtue of that loss by the Dolphins. So they're now at 8-4. The Bills, of course, are 9-3. Got this whole ball rolling with that big win against the Patriots, of course. Good stuff. I mean, and we look better against the Patriots. So they lose, and that's great. The Jets lose. That's great. And then the granddaddy of them all. Come on now. The granddaddy of them all.
Right here, right now.
Subscriber. Very nice. Whoever that was, nice to have you on board. So the granddaddy of them all. I got to pull my alerts up here. So I didn't get to see who that was. Whoever you were, I appreciate it very much. Sorry. Let's get to it. Granddaddy of them all, the Bills got what they needed in Cincinnati. The Bengals beating the Chiefs. I said that was the game. That was the game that was going to propel us into the first seed in the AFC playoff race. And it happened. the Chiefs, Gippy, they were getting beat early by the Bengals pretty good, and then they came back. The Chiefs come back. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes always got to do their thing. And so it looked like the Chiefs were going to possibly pull that one out. And then we're going to look at the schedules here in a second. If the Chiefs had pulled that one out against the Bengals, then we would have been on shaky ground, I think, down the stretch. But that didn't happen. That did not happen. The Chiefs lost, boys and girls. The Chiefs lost to the Bengals. Boom! Booyah! Whatever word you want to use. Putting the Bills in the first seed. Yeah. That's right, Max. The Bengals helped the Bills again. I want everybody to consider buying a Bengals jersey or hat down the stretch of the season here. Not until we beat the Bengals, of course, in the regular season here coming up in a few games. We're going to look at that. That's all right, Michael. You said you're late. But let's go, Buffalo. Welcome on board. Nice to have you here. We got Bills Maniac 210 in the house. Yes, sir. The Bengals coming through again. It's our city. We have just this love relationship with the city. It'll be a shame if we have to play the Bengals in the playoffs. I'll tell you what. It'll be. I mean, I'm not going to be rooting for the Bengals to win, but it'll be tough to play them because they really have done us some great favors over the past few years. So, and Bills Maniac says he can't wait for sweet revenge. Yeah, we've got 2 revenge games coming up here. The Jets coming into town on next Sunday, and then the Dolphins coming into town the Sunday after that. Oh, we're going to be frothing at the mouth. I mean, this is like getting back at a boyfriend or girlfriend that just crushed your soul. Not that I would ever consider the Jets or the Dolphins like a boyfriend or girlfriend, but you know what I'm saying? Like you just got to get these people back. You got to get this girlfriend back for, just taking off with your best friend. Well, it is going to be that time when we roll around for next Sunday. That's going to be just super. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine the energy in that stadium when we play the Jets? And I've got a good Jets fan, fellow streamer who says that his team beating us a few weeks ago in New York, he called it a minor miracle. And I've watched his stream, and he's like, yeah, us taking down the Bills in Buffalo coming up is going to be a task that he thinks is going to be way too tall for that team. So, yes, Mr. Big J, yo, we're number 1 seed. You got that right. And I don't see the Bills losing that number 1 seed. I think that's it. We had our hiccup. We got through our hiccups. That Vikings game. Oh, man, that Vikings game. That was, and still could loom out there as that one game where we say, oh, what could have and should have been. But it's looking so much better now. Around the NFL, just real quick, let's do our little sports report. We got the Packers beating the Bears 28-19. I mean, the Packers just own the Bears. We have the Steelers winning probably a yawner in Atlanta 19-16. The Lions dropped 40 on the Jaguars. This Lions team is bizarro. I mean, they're a good football team. They score a ton of points. But, man, it just seems as if I said they were going to make the playoffs before the season started. Obviously, they're not, but they couldn't have. The Eagles look tough. The Eagles look really tough, beating the Titans 35-10. A.J. Brown getting 2 touchdown receptions against his old team, talking about sticking it to your old girlfriend. A.J. Brown. So keep your eye on the Eagles. Are we headed for a collision course with the Philadelphia Eagles, which would just be, so tough for me because my in-laws, as I'm watching a turnover. Did I have turnover for the Colts? I might have had a turnover for the Colts. I might have just won $16 finally. Collision crash course with the Eagles. My in-laws are from Philadelphia. That will absolutely just be the worst week of pregame. I couldn't even imagine what that's going to be like. Browns take down the Texans. Deshaun Watson was back. Did not play great. wouldn't have expected him to play great. I can't even imagine what that atmosphere was like in Houston. The Giants and the Commandos, they tie 2020 tie. So the Giants are fading. I wonder if they're going to get Odell Beckham. Big news out of Baltimore. Lamar Jackson injured in a 10-9 win against the Broncos. The Broncos are absolutely horrible, and that is going to be a big storyline for the Bills coming up here over the next few weeks. I'll get to that in a minute. Of course, I said that the Niners beat the Dolphins. The Seahawks, they continue to win. Geno Smith, how did he do? Geno Smith, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Is this guy going to be the MVP of the league? I think he might be. Geno Smith, 28 of 39, 367 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Wow. Where did this guy come from? Geno Smith. I mean, he is the surprise, easily the surprise story of the 2022 season so far. All right, Raiders take down the Chargers, a poor Chargers, 6-6. A lot of us Bills Mafia subscribers here on this channel and Charger fans were going back and forth preseason about who had the better quarterback, Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. You know, Justin Herbert's no slouch. He was 28 of 47, 335 yards and a touchdown. But I think it's being revealed that, come on, Charger fans, you know Josh Allen is the better quarterback. The Cowboys right now winning 14-13, and we have the Bucs and the Saints on Monday night. So again, everything went perfect for us today. Today was like a huge win for the Bills. I feel the way I feel right now is it's as if I saw the Bills beat the Eagles. Let's say they beat the Eagles let's just say they met in the regular season and the Bills beat the 11-1 Eagles. And convincingly. That's how I feel. Or maybe they pulled one out of the fire. Either way, I am feeling really good after today. So JJ, big JJ, you want the Bills to beat Dallas for payback. That is a storyline that I can't deny would be absolutely stellar. Having the Bills play the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl would be a storyline of storylines for Western New York, especially when we whip that team in the Super Bowl. Mr. Diggs, what's up, my friend? KC plays Broncos twice, Seattle, Houston, 26%. You just typo there. Raiders. Yes, we're going to talk about that in a second. And we have Mr. Michael Breland. I'm living in Pueblo, Colorado. Broncos fans are depressed. Yeah, the Broncos just got absolutely stuck with a scam trade there. I mean, that is not what they thought they were buying when they traded. What did they trade? Didn't they trade 3 first-round draft picks for Russell Wilson? Somebody set me straight if I'm wrong, but I think they traded 3 first-round draft picks for Russell Wilson. The Broncos are absolutely hurting. If KC loses another one, I'll wear a Finns jersey. Number 1 seed is still up for grabs. It feels good, though. If KC loses another, I'll wear a Finns jersey. Number 1 seed is still up for grabs. I don't get that one. Why would you wear a Dolphins jersey? Am I missing something here? You have to explain that one. Anyway, yeah, let's get to the schedules because this is where we stand right now with five games to go in the season. And it's starting to take shape. I really thought the Bills would maybe have 1 loss at this moment in time, 2 at the most. So it's a shame that we're kind of hanging on by our chinny chin chins while this team, struggles for that number 1 seed. But whatever. Here is the Bills' final, few games, as if you guys don't already know. So we got the Jets and the Dolphins both at home. Chicago in Chicago. I'm not saying that's going to be an easy win. Chicago might bring it, but Buffalo should pull out of there with a win. You know, we're looking at the right side of this schedule right here. And then there's the game right there. Circle it. The Cincinnati Bengals. As long as we don't play a trap game, right? I mean, the Miami Dolphins game is not going to be a trap game, and neither will the Jets. So if as long as we don't play a trap game against Chicago, that Cincinnati game on Monday Night Football, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, how much more drama could be at stake when we play the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football? That could be the game of the year. Because the Cincinnati Bengals obviously are fighting also for position, playoff positioning. And by the time that game rolls around, it could be a ton on the line for the Bengals. There'll obviously be a lot on the line for the Bills. I mean, that'll be a tough day to get through. The Monday at work, like all of us, the only thing that'll be on our mind is that game. Here's the schedule that we got to look at, and the comment made just moments ago about who the Chiefs have. This is gigantic. This is really, really big here. So the Chiefs, they are lost to Cincinnati. Now they play at Denver. Denver is horrible. It's a division game, but sorry, Denver's not going to be able to challenge KC in that one. At Houston, Houston's horrible. Houston's not going to be able to challenge KC in that one. The two games that they can lose would be home against Seattle, because Seattle's playing some good football. I do not see the Chiefs losing at home to Seattle, though they could. There's a chance there. Home against Denver, that's a win. And then at the Raiders. That game could end up being a gigantic game for the Bills to watch. If there is any loss, specifically the Chiefs game that we play, if we lose any games down the stretch here, that game that the Raiders play, that the Chiefs play at the Raiders is going to be the game. And God forbid we need somehow the Raiders to beat the Chiefs that day. But you know what I think? If it gets to a point where the Bills need the Raiders to beat the Chiefs, well, then they don't deserve it, because that means that they lost to either the Jets, Dolphins, Bears. They didn't win the big one against the Bengals, or they somehow, some way lost to the Patriots at home. Bills have got to take this. This is where a championship team takes over and does what they got to do. They do what they have to do. We got our 3 stupid losses. We should only have maybe 2. And that's it. That's it. So it's all lined up for us. It's right there in front of us. And now all we got to do is just take it. Obviously, we're dealing with injuries. Von Miller could be back for that Bengals game. Let's hope that Von Miller can really play on that knee. I can't believe I'm talking about Von Miller coming back from injury. That just drives me crazy. But a return of Von Miller for that Bengals game would be nice. Then we set him for the Patriots game and get him ready for the playoffs. That could be the scenario. I think if Von Miller is going to play, if he's going to be able to play, I think that's probably because he'll be out for the Jets game, be out for the Dolphins, because he's got 4 weeks, right? So Jets, he might not be able to come back for the Bengals game. He's got to go out Jets, Dolphins, Bears. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Never mind me. Von Miller cannot come back for the Bengals game, if I'm correct. So, great point there. Bills 2-10. Time to think it is a 5-game season. Let's go 5-0. Of course, these guys are always saying it's just one game at a time. The game that's in front of them is the only game they care about. So let's just enjoy it. right here. Let's take a gander at this beautiful, beautiful graphic. The Bills, the number 1 seed, 9-3. The Chiefs, they're the number 2 seed. Then we go to the Ravens, the Titans. How are the Titans always some way there? The Bengals at 8-4. Dolphins and the Jets. Dolphins and the Jets. That's the Jets, man. They're still surprising people, but I have a feeling the Jets, and I've been saying it, I have a feeling they're going to have a tough time winning too many of these important games down the stretch. They were kind of like that feel-good story. They were hanging in there like our Buffalo Bills in the past, where they would win a bunch of games in the beginning of the year, and they just weren't able to maintain. And they just are. I see the Jets falling out of that playoff spot. Unfortunate for the Jets, because I kind of think that they got a great defense. They just don't have a quarterback right now. Real quick over the NFC, we got the Eagles, top spot. They're playing some great football. I wonder if it's going to be Buffalo and Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, then the Vikings. The Niners take a gigantic hit losing Garoppolo. So a Bills-Niners Super Bowl looks like it is going to go by the wayside. The Buccaneers, how are the Buccaneers still there? It just seems so strange. They just don't seem like a very good team, but there they are with the 4 seed. I guess their division, that's right, their division is just so horrible. Cowboys and Giants. The Cowboys right now against the Colts. Looks like they're going to take care of business there. So after tonight, that's gonna change up a little bit. So there we go. And now we're waiting to find out about Odell Beckham. Doesn't sound like he's going to be a player that really any team's going to want to bring on at the end of the season. He's not working out for the teams, and there's a lot of speculation that his knee is definitely not back, and so it'll be interesting to see if he signs anywhere. Not sure I would want to see it here in Buffalo. If we do, I hope we don't give up too much to get him. And, contract-wise, and if he can help out the team, that'd be great. That would be great. So, super great weekend. Super great weekend. The Buffalo Bills have the number 1 seed in the AFC. I don't see them losing it. I see them, as long as, something bizarro doesn't happen, the Bills should be moving on right into the playoffs with that number 1 seed. And I just want y'all to just close your eyes and picture that bye week. The NFL starts their playoffs. Buffalo gets to just chill and rest. Von Miller gets to rest a little bit more. Maybe he doesn't come back at all until the playoffs and he gets that extra week to rest. And then we've got our first game. Just plug in a team there for yourself. Buffalo is playing the Chargers. Somehow the Chargers pull it together, and the Bills play their first game against the Chargers in Orchard Park, New York. And we crush them. We crush the Chargers. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. That would be sweet. And then it is the AFC Championship game. And come on, let's just say it. The Bills play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game if they come to Orchard Park, New York. I just can't even. I won't be able to sleep tonight thinking about it. And then the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be the Eagles. I think it's going to be the Eagles and the Bills in the Super Bowl. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit here to talk number 1 seed in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills. As always, before I go, I just want to say hello to Grace Delano, new to the channel. Nice man cave. Thank you. It's actually a green screen. I'm working on my bar. Gonna hopefully have it looking something like this and have a Super Bowl party where it's gonna be just rocking, baby, rocking as the Bills beat the Eagles. All right, thanks for joining me. And as always, I will see you tomorrow.
The Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout, yeah, 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 yeah.
Say you will.
Shout it right now, baby.
Say you will.
Come on,
Say you will.
come on and shout.
Say you will.
Yeah,
Shout.
Buffalo's happening now.
Shout.
We're on the move now.
Shout.
The Bills are happening now.
Shout.
They're making it happen now.
Shout.
We got the spirit,
Shout.
a lot of spirit, yeah.
Shout.
We got the spirit.
Shout.
Just watch it happen now. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
The Bills make me wanna
Shout.